it, ladies and gentlemen, is your host again, Giant 2B, within our fine fan fiction, Overdrive, isn't it? Chapter 8, to Court. Now, I just want to remind you all that I do not own any of the drawings. They belong to Hopeless Romance. All the music is owned by the composers that wrote the music, and all the sound effects are general sound effects. Now, I'm doing this alone this evening because my partner this evening, Hopeless Romance, could not make it this evening. So here we begin Chapter 8, to Court. Now wait a minute, Officer. Kit is not a Thamian, nor has ever been, Baloo yelled at the police. I'm sorry, the law is the law. I must have you come to court, or I have you and your wife arrested as well for obstruction of justice, the police officer said. But what about our shipments, Rebecca complained. Excuse me, Kirk interrupted. Everyone turns to look at Kirk. What do you want, alien? The officer retorted back. I'd just like to say, this sounds to me like a classic witch hunt, where wrongly accused are tried and punished for the crimes they did not commit, Kirk continued. You stay out of this, alien, or I'll have you arrested as well, the cop said. I apologize. Can I speak to Baloo for a moment? I don't see why not. You have 5 minutes, but 5 minutes only with Baloo to go to court, or you will both be placed under arrest, the cop says. Thank you, officer. Kirk pulls Baloo aside and moves toward the dock while his men saw Dr. McCoy, who approached them and briefed Dr. McCoy on all the catch-up stuff that was happening. You better have a good reason for pulling me aside and interrupting me on this serious matter. My son and his life might possibly be in danger, Baloo said angrily. Don't worry, I have an idea, Mr. Van Boonwald, Kirk smiles. And that is, Mr. Scott and Mr. Spock will fly your ship and deliver goods while Dr. McCoy and I will help you and your son get out of this mess. You'll help a stranger like us? Becky asked. Yes, I will, and don't worry about it. I have been in harder situations than this, Kirk says. Besides, I would like to help you with I'd like your help when this trial is over. We have a deal, Mr. Kirk, Baloo says as he shakes Kirk's hand. One other thing, please take my daughter and Molly with you and help my men navigate. I don't want her to get harmed in any way while we're in this mess, Becky said. Don't worry, your daughter will be safe with us, Scotty said. She better be safe, Becky scolded. You have my men's word and trust, Kirk reassures them as he holds Rebecca's hand. Very well then, let's go, buddy. Baloo says while they walk back to the police officers. Kirk whispers something in Dr. McCoy's ear while McCoy was nodding and smiling. Mr. Officer, I'll be defending Mr. and Mrs. Van Boonwald in the court case in the courtroom, if that's okay with you, Kirk asked. That is permitted, the cop said. The group split up. Spock and Scotty took Molly and loaded the Sea Duck with their shipment and waved goodbye to their mom and dad. Dr. McCoy called Alicia on the communicator and gave her instructions to have them meet them at the courthouse in 10 minutes and wait for them there. At Cape Zip Main Courthouse, police cars arrived at the main courthouse where the media was there reporting the arrest of Kit Van Boonwald and now arriving at Baloo and Rebecca Van Boonwald. Baloo saw his son in chains and handcuffed to the police officer and his wife also in custody with a female Turkey police officer. Kit noticed his father. Dad! He screams. Kit! 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 What happened? Baloo screamed in the crowd. Sandy and I were camping all of a sudden, and the feds with Khan's private police force found us and arrested us. I should have known. Don't worry, little britches. I'll get you out of this. It's the last thing I do, Baloo whispered and hugged his son. Break it up, the pig police officer yelled, pulling Baloo off Kit. Then Shere Khan's limo showed up as the press were all over him, as they were all over the place, and as he waved reporters off. More photographers approached Shere Khan, and Shere Khan waved them off. Please, please, I'm only here to witness the wrong about what was set right, the tiger said in his usual monotone voice. Mr. Khan, is it true that you sold your factories to Scrooge McDuck? Mr. Khan, is it true that... Khan waves his hand and one of the Panther guards cut off the reporters and the photographers. Captain Kirk noticed the wealthy tiger taking a seat in a reserved section of the courthouse. Who's the Nubian scumbag? Kirk whispered in Baloo's ear. That's Shere Khan, the most powerful and richest man here at Cape Suzette, and once was the richest man on the planet. He's the real asshole that's behind all of this. He threatened my wife and threatened my family as I was helping him, helping his competition. He used to be somewhat of a better man at one time. I saved his life a few times back in the 1930s, Baloo whispered his explanation to Kirk's ear. I see. Then the courthouse got into... Order! 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 Screamed the judges. As Kit was seated in front of the Senate judge, which was an old male barn owl, a committee of 5 that consisted of a male brown eagle, female zebra with glasses, a male cheetah, and female Scottish fold cow with a mean look on her face. Please be seated, the senior senator barn owl, as he sat up, and he was wearing a gray pinstripe suit. The court will now proceed with the case of Lieutenant Kit Cloudkicker von Bruenwald versus Uslan, and the account that he was associated himself with Thembians, the owl continued. Mr. Cloudkicker von Bruenwald, we have been informed that you have been associating with Thembians since 12 years of age at the year 1937 to 1938. Is this true? Asked the zebra. It is, but I was only a child back in 1938. Objection, your honors, Baloo yelled out. Captain von Ruhenwald, we'll get to you in a minute. Now please, calm down before I'll have you removed, the eagle said. Now it turns back to Kit. Now I have this report from Mr. Khan, our best citizen, that you joined the Young Thembian Air Squad. I did, but I didn't know that they're any better back then. I was just a child. But I would say that it's irrelevant because you admitted to this that you're associated with Thembians, and the Thembian party back in 1938 was a hostile force back then, the female cat interrupted. Wait a minute, Kit! He was working for me as my navigator back in 38, Baloo yelled in protest. So you were one of the ones that were responsible for sending in the boys and associates to the Thembians back in the 30s, the cheetah asked. No, I was only doing a job as instructed by my wife, Baloo contested. Now wait a minute. Thembia wasn't an enemy of Isla in the 1930s, Becky said. Oh, so you guys are Thembian associates, the zebra assured. No, we're not. We're just doing our jobs, Baloo yelled out. Order, order, order! Order in the court, the owl screamed. One more outburst from the floor, Mr. Baloo, and I'll have you arrested for contempt of court. The owl looks at Shere Khan, who is holding a black briefcase. The judge nods. Kit von Bruenwald, you're excused from the crimes as you were a child back then. However, just a moment, Kirk interrupts. I said no more outbursts from the floor, and that includes you, alien. I'd like to say, this trial sounds like a setup. That's enough from you, the owl said. Let him speak, Baloo interrupted. That's it, bailiff! Bailiff, arrest those men! Arrest Baloo and Rebecca von Bruenwald for contempt of court, the owl said as he slammed the gavel. As soon as that was said, the entire courtroom went into a total media circus and chaos was everywhere. Kit! Kit! Screamed Baloo as he was being handcuffed and taken away. Don't worry, Papa Bear, I'll get you out! Now wait just a damn minute! I didn't get to finish, Kirk screamed. Bailiff, arrest that human for starting as this circus, the owl screamed. No, wait, I'm not finished! Kirk screamed as he was being handcuffed and taken away by the police officers. Khan smiles and pays off the owl judge and his reward to whatever he is held in the back of the case. It was nice doing business with you, Mr. Khan. The pleasure was all mine, Mr. McCarthy, Khan says as he hands the black briefcase to the Senate judge. As the courthouse was now empty, Kit was alone with his wife, and they were hugging. Don't worry, Sandy, I'll get Papa Bear and Rebecca out, whatever it takes. Hello, I'm Dr. McCoy. Hello, Dr. McCoy, Kit said he's broke the embrace with his wife. I may be help of you guys, but first, my assistant and I would like your help to break my old friend Jim. Ken and Sandy looked at the doctor and looked at him with curiosity. Go on. Sorry, folks, that's a cliffhanger. I'm Johnny 2B, and I'm signing out. Have a good night.